Now, live from Artie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello.
Happy day.
Happy day.
Getting it. There's a couple of happy days.
Yeah.
There's one jerk in Ohio. He's pretty happy.
Yeah. Well,
Day.
a lot of, one day is very happy.
But welcome back.
welcome back, folks.
We got it coordinated.
Yes, we did. We finally were able to get back together at show 83 of the Dave and Doc podcast. I am Dave.
And I am Doc.
All things Dave and Doc right there on your browser when you stop looking at porn at www.daveanddoc.com. That's Dave, A-N-D,
Take a
Doc,
break.
D-O-C.com.
Take a break.
Or onlyfans.com/Dave and Doc. That'd be negative money. We would have to pay people.
Right? It's like, yeah. Did you see that where that girl made like $43 million
Oh, yeah.
on that?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, where have, I don't know. Anyway.
Listen,
man.
I'm going to be
DaveandDoc.com, not OnlyFans.
I'll be totally honest with you, dude. If I can make that kind of money on that site, I'd be there today. I'll do whatever they ask me to do. Could you eat like a sugar donut upside down naked? You got it, bro. I'd bring the old inversion table in here and do it and go at it. Wouldn't bother me in the least. Dave, what do you do for a living? I eat pastries naked upside down for men or women or pets. I don't care.
Pets? I have no answer. It took us. It has taken us to a dark place. 2 minutes into the show.
I guess I'd have to wear like a mask or something. I wouldn't want to be recognized.
The show is now known as Horror and Doc.
I'm whore.
That's WHORE.
Whore.
ANDDoc.com. Oh my God.
Hey, it's show 83, and
I know.
As of this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a drum roll, but we are up to 55,000
Yay.
subscribers.
Hey, thank you all. Thank you all for signing up.
Yes.
Please feel free to like us, sign up.
Yeah.
Dave and Doc.
Yeah. Taking over the world.
We're getting there.
One disgruntled listener at a time.
One subscriber at a time. That's right.
Yes.
That's right, man.
But how
good.
about that?
Growing it up. I like it.
55,000, and it just keeps going up.
I love it. I love it.
Until YouTube cancels us, which may be today.
You never know.
We'll see.
You never know. So, you're good. We had a good Christmas.
Yeah, it was really good.
Good. We had a good Christmas as well. Partied with the family. Yeah, and all the kids had hyped up time. Got together with my sister yesterday and had a great time.
Good.
Bought this thing called Playground. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a interactive game. It's like a little cube, but it has a camera and it senses your movement. So it's like a Wii. I guess it's like a Wii, except you don't have to have like the stick.
Yeah.
So like it senses your body and stuff. But you can play like Fruit Ninja. There's
Oh, that's cool.
This goalie game. You can anyway. So we played that for forever yesterday, and my kids wore it out. It was funny because everybody was like, "I'm going to be sore tomorrow."
Some good cardio.
Good stuff. So, man, know any good jokes about anything? O-H-I-O. Uh-oh. Went to the game. Had a great time right up until first play of the game when they threw that little screen pass to Jeremiah Smith and he got to the edge.
Yeah.
And I said, Ohio State might be built a little bit different than my Mighty Vols. And they were. And my buddy Jordan said, if we don't seal that edge, we're going to be in trouble. And we were, because that was a whooping.
Yeah.
And we're going to get more into that.
Froze your ass off up there to...
I had a heated vest, had some hand warmer stuff, had some my feet got a little bit cold, but honestly, the heated vest was huge.
Oh, I bet.
That was key.
Yeah.
And of course, you're huddled in there. So we had some natural just people sitting there. So overall, yeah, we'll get more into it. But so because we got whooped, I'm gonna do some UT Vol Dad jokes
look
are
at you.
just I know, man. I know. It's just, but I'm going to do it. So here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Hang on. I got to find. Okay. How I can tell a UT fan is married.
How?
There is dried chewing tobacco on both sides of his pickup truck.
Oh. That. Good God. I feel like that's more southern than Tennessee.
Well,
like
I mean, probably.
Mississippi or something. Or it's a mix between vomit and tobacco. I don't know.
Tennessee State Trooper pulls over an orange and white pickup truck on I-40. He says to the driver, "Got any ID?" Driver says, "About what?" That was bad.
As a Virginia kid, being from southwestern Virginia, I think these are applicable there as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah. A new law recently passed in Knoxville. When a couple gets divorced, they can still be brother and sister.
Well, I mean, you don't want to break up families.
Some of this is from tidefans.com. What's the best thing to ever come out of Knoxville?
What?
I-40 West. That's bad. That's some jerk crap right there. That's some jerk crap right there. And then for the final one, why did O.J. Simpson want to move to Knoxville?
Oh.
Everyone has the same DNA.
Yikes. Oh, how about that?
Cover it up. May he rest in peace, right? I guess.
Sure.
I get whatever.
What a weird dude, man. I mean, he got away with murder.
There's a few words there to use, right?
I mean,
Right. Right.
It's like, the juice is loose took an all new term or, all new connotation when he, got out of.
Truth.
I mean,
Truth.
I don't know. And like those poor families that had to go through that and know that dude, I mean, that we know he did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Brown family,
come
the
on,
Goldman
man.
family.
Yeah, the
particular, 'cause
Golden.
That was just one of those, just wrong place, wrong time. Just horrible.
The Golden Brown family.
The golden brown. Slightly crispy.
Slightly crispy.
Slightly crispy.
OJ's probably slightly crispy at this point. I feel
probably.
so. There's so much to talk about.
I know,
'cause
man.
we've
Like I
been-
said, we had flu. You had flu, or you didn't get sick.
No.
With your super immune system, but the family went down.
One of us didn't have a flu shot. 'Cause, as you know, being my doctor, I don't do that.
Ooh, how about that?
Your nurse asks me every year too, and
about
laughs when she asks me. She says, "Dave, would you like a flu shot?" I'm like, come on.
How about that? Isn't that interesting?
I think it is. Everybody was sick, and we're on the mend now. Some lingering cough stuff happening, but that's kind of to be expected, I would think.
Right. Yes. Up to several weeks after your illness.
But talking about like some medical stuff and getting well, one of the presents for Christmas this year that Lindsay gave me early was a 1 hour session getting a deep tissue massage.
Oh,
Yeah. Went to Massage Envy. I know I give enough businesses around here shit. So great atmosphere, great people. And I've had a massage before, but I've never had a deep tissue massage. Yeah.
it's intense. I've never had one because I know people who have, and how many bad words came out while some of that was going down?
It was okay because, again, like my neck had really stiffened up again. And
Did you have a guy or a girl?
I requested a girl.
Yes.
Because
Did Bruce come in and say hello?
No.
Aisha.
I didn't want some ex-NFL football coach sticking his finger through my sternum from the back.
Oh, your hands are so strong.
Shit, Dave, this thing's moving. Oh, that's your heart. So I felt like I'd probably, and again, I don't want a dude touching me. I just don't. I
understand.
mean,
right.
The only way I want a guy touching me is if I am, asleep on a table. That's it. Then you can do whatever you want to me. I don't care. I mean, hell, they violated both of my holes one time. So almost at the same time. the two tubes met in the middle.
Did it taste kind of funny?
It did. Yeah. It's a little nutty. It's a little nutty. So
Got some gristle in there.
it's a little
There's
gristle.
a little bit of gristle.
So I get there, I fill out the thing, and I always this cracks me up at your office too, because it's like once a year. I think when I come see you, I see you twice a year, but once a year, I think I have to fill out
Yes,
the thing
that
again.
is a requirement by law.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to update your paperwork.
And so I go, so it's kind of the same there. It's like, do you have any of the following afflictions? And it's 5 damn pages of stuff,
It's
man.
a lot of stuff. Yes,
I'm like,
it's a lot of stuff.
and I always ask the same question to people. I'm like, has anyone ever been in here and filled all this out? Or are they just assumed to be dead in the waiting room? Because, I mean, shit. I got cardiovascular disease, brain trauma, cancer,
Man. Oh no, it's
know.
it's a huge
anal fissures, rectal bleeding,
That's a bad day.
That's-
Just so you know, be thankful you do not have that, because yes, man, that is some bad stuff. That's some bad stuff.
So anyway, so I fill it out, and they're like, what are the areas that you want to concentrate on? I'm like, well, I hurt my hip, so my hip's still kind of tight. It's better now.
Put your hand up on my hip. When I
And-
dip, you dip, we dip.
And then my lower back, right? And then I started getting like really tightness in my shoulder blades. I think it all stems from, well, not all of it, but some of it stems from my neck, because I tend to sleep differently because my neck is kind of hurting. So anyway, so I basically just said my entire back, right? It's like just, draw a little circle around the entire back. And so I go there, I fill out the paperwork, and then they put you in this little room, like a little waiting room, right? It's real dark. Some nice soft music and very soft, chairs.
Did they have like the little cup?
No, they didn't do that.
Ring, ding.
They didn't do that, but they did have the aromatherapy going on.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Stimulate all the senses
So,
as we crush you.
and so I almost fell asleep in that room. I'm like, oh God, this is beautiful. I'm just going to come here every night and sleep.
Did you have a little moment by yourself?
I did.
Little candles.
So she comes and
Candles
gets me,
and aromas.
and she said, "You Dave?" I said, "Yeah." And so we go back in the back. She goes, "Have you ever had a massage before?" I said, "I have." And she said, "Have you ever had a deep tissue?" I said, "That I have not had." So she said, "Well, if it starts to really hurt, just tell me, and I'll remove some of the pressure." I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "I think I can take it." So she says, now you just want to, whatever, if you want to leave all your clothes on or all your clothes off or whatever.
Sookie now.
Yeah. And I said, and she said, whatever your comfort level is. And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, if you can fix my jacked up neck, I'll drop trowel right now. I'll stand up. I don't care. Listen, again, I'll sit upside down and eat a donut while you do it. I don't care. So anyway, I take everything that I need to take off, and I get under the bed, and the bed is heated, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's super nice.
Oh, yes.
And so, it was kind of funny too, because as I'm doing this, right, I'm dropping trowel and everything, right, and I didn't get completely nude. I left one sock on, but no,
In the middle.
in the middle, yeah. So I had 3 socks on that day. So
Were you face down?
I was
Ass up.
face down, ass up. I was like, I've seen this movie.
I feel vulnerable.
It's like there's that scene in Pulp Fiction. so I'm on the bed, and it's heated and
Yes.
it's super comfortable. And then like I had a sheet like over like whatever part of me, and so I stick my head in that
Like donut looking thing.
yeah, that S&M thing they got there. So I stuck my face down in there. And she said, because she told me, she's like, hey, I'll let you get, prepared. Here's what you want to do and everything. Then
Yeah.
I'll come
Yeah,
back and check on you. So she comes back, right? And like, I'm face down, ass up. My head is in this thing, right? Arms are just dangling. I'm like, oh, this is pretty comfortable. And she does the thing like you do and your staff does, knocks on the door, like
Press. Always announce yourself.
just to announce. And I'm like,
People may be in a vulnerable position.
and I'm like, she's not going to hear me because my face is down with this damn pillow. I'm like, this is how they do it. This is how it happens.
This is how we do
So anyway, so she comes in, she turns the lights off and everything, and does the massage. And like she more times than once said, "Oh wow," I'm like, "What the hell did you find?" And she's like, "This is a huge knot, and like you're whatever." So and let me tell you something. When they find the knots, and they got to push down on the knot and then like wiggle the thing around it
what you gonna do with that knot on your back?
And she when she got to my neck, she was like, "Wow." She's like, "Are you stressed?" And I'm like,
Funny thing about that. Why, yes, I am.
"Oh, you just don't know."
Yes, I am.
And so she had to work on the neck, and then I had to flip over so she could she did a thing with my pecs, like where she like pulled back on my.
Oh yeah, man. She got
what the hell ever, y'all know where
she got your titties.
Yeah, she got titty. She got both titties, and
Did she tweak on your nipples?
she did not.
The
No.
deep tissue on the nipples, I think, would hurt.
But I tell you this, the thing that hurt the most the next day were the pecs, like right, like kind of right under the arm or whatever. Like I almost felt like I was bruised. And then like,
oh man, I mean it.
so here's the thing. So after it was over, right? And we actually went ahead and just bought a membership.
Yeah, nice.
Because
Nice.
Lindsay's like, you need to do this like once a month.
Right.
And I'm
Just
like,
go-
you're
go-
probably right.
Go
So-
and do it. Get it done.
So that's what I'm going to do. And then they gave me a ton of coupons. So if you'd like a coupon, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I can hook you guys up.
Sweet. Thanks.
You and I can get a couples massage.
Nice.
Yes. Can we
As long
hold
as they
hands
ding the thing.
and whistle before they crack our back or anything? Because that's how he knows the
gonna-
apex.
yeah.
It's where he knows the apex.
I'm gonna ask. Be like, do you whistle? Whistle while you work.
What's the safe word?
It's
Armageddon.
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 Safety word's got to be Armageddon.
If you folks don't know that, look it up.
yes.
Yes. And then comment. So right after that, I bought the
Membership.
the membership and everything, and they gave me discounts. I mean, I swear it was a great experience, and I felt like so good. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man.
Like I
No,
got home and I'm like, my God, man, like I'm limber as shit now. Like I can do anything. I can, hang upside down and eat a donut. But the next day, and I slept good the night before or that night of, but the next day, man, and like even still now, like it just, I'm kind of like bruised a little bit and whatever. So it's like starting to feel better. But yeah, well worth it though. The deep tissue for me anyway was well worth it. But
So you didn't have to like holler out and be like, "Oh my god!"
nah. There was times where I was like,
Did it make you say anything at any point?
Well, there was one point which she found the bigger knot, which was lower back, kind of, or like to the right, I guess, probably close to the hip area. And when she found that, she put two fingers on it and like started pushing up on it, and then almost came off the bed and said, "Yeah." And
I thought you were gonna say when she was working your pecs.
yeah, and she
got up in that moob. Got up in the moob.
man, yeah, I jumped off the bed and she said, "Sit your ass down." I said, "Yes, ma'am." No, she was great. She was absolutely great. Couldn't have been a better
I
experience.
mean, it sounds like it was really good. Some of those deep tissue things, man, I've heard some people actually complain. They were like, man, I actually hurt more coming out of it than I did going into it. And I'm like, that is not how that's supposed to be.
Yeah. She did say, "Hey, listen, you're going to be sore." She's like, "And you probably need to come back 2 to 4 weeks, like if you want to really, like she said, because I'm not able to get everything out in one."
Right. To release the strain and stress.
Yeah. But yeah, no, good experience, and glad that Lindsay forced me to go do that, because I've needed one of those, I think, for a while. And the people that like probably have like a masseuse on staff at work or something.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, places do that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because they,
and I would take advantage of that all the time. But yeah. So yeah, the deep tissue massage got
a little DTP.
Yeah.
DTM, deep tissue pressing,
Yeah.
deep tissue massaging.
I asked her if people fell asleep. And
Dave, man.
She said it happens all the time. People fall asleep. while they're doing it. She goes, usually not for deep tissue, just like a regular massage.
Yeah, 'cause she goes,
Yeah. It'd be a little hard to sleep through that. A regular massage, though, yeah, I probably would. I'd probably just sleep. And she said what she preferred because, like, you loosen up or whatever.
Right.
Like, you're not, tensed up or whatever.
watch out.
Yeah. There was a massage place in south of Seattle in Kent, Washington.
Yeah.
That was called Happy Massage. That's what it was called. No, windows blacked out as shit.
I was going to say,
Listen.
listen.
The only parking is in the back of the lot.
Listen. That's what I'm saying. That's when you're like,
Welcome to Happy Massage.
yeah, ask Bob Kraft.
Yeah.
Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft. Yeah, he got crafted. His craft got crafted there. Well,
Many times.
I just thought it was a regular massage, Bob. Yeah, okay, Bob. Yeah. Yeah, we all live in that billionaire world. What a fuck him.
And all that just went away.
Of course it did.
It just all went away.
Of course it did.
Well, I'm glad you came out pretty relaxed, unscathed.
I did.
No terrible visible bruising anywhere.
No.
You're not named Snuffleupagus or anything.
No.
Nothing. That's good.
Armageddon.
That's good.
So let's see.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, real quick, there's something I decided I hated this year.
Uh-oh.
And I love this time of year.
About
really,
Christmas?
Well, the season. Not necessarily about Christmas.
Gotcha.
So like between like when you get about a week before Thanksgiving until like today.
Yeah.
is like my favorite time of year.
Got it.
A lot of football. It's getting a little colder outside. People, Christmas spirit kind of thing. I like all that, and there's family and all that good stuff. But there's something this year I decided that I really I can't take it anymore. And I knew this was a thing years ago too that I didn't like. And for some reason, I just didn't care until this year. But I'm listening to like satellite radio.
Yeah.
I'd finished a book and I didn't want to start another one because I knew that I wouldn't be driving as much because I'm off for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to listen to satellite radio, right? And I listen to basically two main channels. One of them is called the 80s on 8 and one's called Hair Nation because that's who I am. That's just who I am, folks. I love me some 80s and I love Hair Nation because I just do.
Oh, Lord.
And it doesn't surprise anybody. But
No.
but what they started doing was like playing some Christmas music, right? Which is not uncommon. A lot of radio stations.
Was it In Sync? Merry Christmas.
No, not on those two channels anyway.
I thought you were going to say they like totally broke from what the genre is supposed to be, and I was like, man, I bet you were really hot then.
A thing happened in radio years and years ago where that's what they would do. So like they'd get to the second week of December, and until January, they would play exclusively Christmas music.
Nothing but Christmas.
That would be their programming. And when I did radio, one of the stations I worked for was a classic rock station, and they wanted us to sprinkle in 3 Christmas songs an hour, and they said we'll try to do some that have a classic rock.
Did you play "Baby It's Cold Outside"?
No, I played "Wet."
You played WAP.
So
you were ahead of your time.
I really was. They're like, "What is this song, David?" So I used to hate doing it then too because it's just a lot of that music isn't any good. And so this year, I think it just like is like kind of like PTSD.
Well, and it's
awful. Christmas rock is terrible. The only good Christmas rock song that I like is from a band called the Dan Band, and it's called "Rock You Hard This Christmas." And let me tell you, it's exactly about what you think it's about. And if you've never heard the Dan Band,
what about?
I highly recommend you. They are Steel Panther-esque.
What about "Mistress for Christmas" by AC/DC?
Oh my God.
I want a mistress for Christmas.
It's like, dude, you ain't had sex with a woman in a long time because you can't walk.
Oh gosh.
What album was that on? That was the Razor's Edge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Razor's Edge. Yeah. I want to meet.
I was caught in a minute.
Hey, now Thunderstruck. I mean,
listen,
that's a classic.
I love
Hey.
AC/DC. I don't have anything wrong with AC/DC.
Ohio State comes out to Hell's Bells.
Do they?
That was pretty intense. I mean, you could tell they were, yeah.
Nothing beats Virginia Tech and Enter Sandman.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now.
I-
I've been on the sideline for that, and the ground is shaking.
That's what I'd love to go to Blacksburg just to kind of. If you're a fan of college football, college camps, that's a thing. That's a thing to go.
Why don't we do that next season?
I keep
We'll just pick a night game.
but I want them to play somebody, and of course they've struggled.
It's been a long time since they've been relevant.
Little bit. I mean, Jason Fuente, in the beginning,
It looked like they were back.
Yeah, they
looked
were
like
they were kind of okay, and then the wheels just kind of fell off. And I don't know. That's So because like I said, I keep thinking, okay, they're gonna turn it back around. There's gonna be some relevant thing, and that'd be the
And then
the
they
game
just
going,
don't.
and then it just hadn't happened. But anyway,
so Christmas rock. But as we're driving around for the holidays, and I think it was last week, I was off. I don't know, maybe last Thursday. I can't remember. I went with
rocking
Lindsay to pick up Paxton, right, and just kind of driving around.
I saw you.
We saw you.
Yep. I had only worked. That was Friday. No. That was.
It was a Thursday, I think.
Was that a Thursday?
I think. It was a Thursday or Friday. It was one or the other.
I think.
Oh, it was a Friday.
It was a Friday. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
because my girls had their Christmas
That's right.
program
That's
at
right.
school.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get over there to make sure I was there in time for because y'all were like, what are you doing? You don't
Yeah.
ever leave.
Oh, I was
at
giving
this,
you shit.
at this time
shit.
of day, and I was like, well, actually, I had to cut my day short because I've got to get over there. Yes,
Which was funny because you could have said, well, I mean, you saw me, so you're not working.
Right.
But you didn't. So
but I knew you were off or whatever happened.
Yeah.
No. You had a better afternoon, so you were able to
meetings got canceled.
Yeah, that's
or something.
Yeah. That's what it was.
So anyway, so we're driving.
I was happy for you.
So we're driving.
Serious.
So we're driving down Emory, right? And there's a bank there on the right when you get almost after you get into Powell,
You talking about UT Federal Credit Union?
No. After that, there's one called First Bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know where you're at.
So I kind of had something funny
About First Bank?
about First Bank, and I want to get people involved with this. And I don't know the people at First Bank, and I'm sure they're great people because I mean everybody loves bankers. But so the people at work at First Bank. So I thought this would be funny.
We like loan officers. They do an excellent job.
But Lindsay didn't think it was funny. But I think it would be funny.
Of course she did.
She didn't have a sense of humor. So I think it'd be funny. So
She was worried about her brain tumor.
Here's what I would like to shit, right? I don't know what it is this week. It's something else. She can read side effects for things for medicine she doesn't take and thinks she has those side effects.
It's like you're actually not on that.
Yeah. So we're there stopped in traffic, and I'm looking at the First Bank, and I said, here's what I'd like to do. I said, I'd like to get 10 people together, and once a week over the course of a few months, I want to walk into First Bank, and when they say, hi, welcome to First Bank, how can I help you? You go, oh my God. Okay. I do this all the time. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I was looking for Second Bank, and leave. And just leave. And I want once a week for somebody to do it. Exactly like that. Just be super polite. Like, guys, I do this all the time. How did I make this mistake again? Like, I mean, one's first, one's second. I'm sorry. I don't understand. She didn't think it's funny, but I think it'd be hilarious.
They have a Fifth Third Bank. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Fifth Third. It's kind of odd. Okay.
I personally bank at 8 to the power of 4. Yes, that's the one that I bank at. Fuck, I don't know what that means.
Is that like exponents?
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God.
What's your favorite constant? What's like churches, man? I mean, there's the first Christian church and the second Christian church.
True.
And the third Sunday of every 9th month church, and then
That's true.
And then there's I mean, it's like, so if you're the second Christian church, is that your rival? Is that like you guys like have like a church league softball and you're like, we're taking down first.
Down. They just think they're first. We're really first.
You see our trophy says first.
Even though we're second.
Yeah. I don't understand that. I had a good friend of mine, Reverend Gerald Stacy. I used to call him the Minister of Information, and he loved that nickname.
I bet
he did radio with me for a little while and covered football.
I bet he did.
And he was a minister, pastor, preacher, evangelistic professional. I don't know. At the
all the things.
He was
all the things,
and I'm pretty sure that was First Christian Church. I think that was a First Christian Church.
Got it.
I'm more like a ninth level Christian. Like I don't think I'm up there.
Is that like a black belt?
I think so. It's like Six Sigma. It's like Six Sigma, right? Like so you have like your. I'm a green belt. I'm only up to the 8th Christian Church or whatever. I mean, everything else has levels. Why not, right? Like, I mean, so like
you
there's
pulled out Six Sigma.
I did.
Gosh,
dude, when I'm off work, this is what happened. My brain goes in overdrive.
Do y'all do Six Sigma through yeah?
We don't do it. But we have a lot of people that come in with that training.
Yeah,
you know,
well, GE was huge in it.
Yeah,
I actually knew a black belt in Six Sigma.
Yeah,
lots of training for that. Yeah, he was an engineer. Yep. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, there's levels in everything, right? Like, I mean, you can join the Masons, and you're like a you're like a Padawan, and then you can go all the way up to Satan. So I mean, there's levels in everything. I'm joking, folks. I don't know. Actually, maybe I'm not joking. I don't know. Do you have to be a 33rd degree Mason to be in the Illuminati? Is that how that works?
Oh my God!
I don't know,
Dave.
When do you turn into a lizard person? That's what I want to know, because I think that would be kind of.
It's got to be at least 49th degree.
I would think so.
It's got to be.
What a perfect one for me, the 49th degree.
That's why I said that. Do you like that? That was actually not rehearsed.
Look at that.
Yet perfectly placed.
It was perfectly placed.
Every
Look
time.
at you. You are turning to a professional broadcaster, my friend.
Man, I'm telling you.
It's happening.
I'm telling you. We're getting there.
But yeah, so I mean, like, I want to be a lizard person because I think that's cool.
We just like totally squirreled because you were talking about something you didn't like at the holidays, and then you were going to do first bank, second bank.
The first bank, second bank. We talk about levels. That's what got into all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. But we squirreled.
We squirrel.
It's okay.
And I'm trying to get to football because there's so much to talk about. But I did want to. So
what was it you don't really like about Christmas? Just the songs, the rock songs, and all the things.
So here's the thing. I don't want to hear AC/DC do a Christmas song. I don't want to hear.
Understand that.
And again, I think some of these people are great singers.
No. Right. We're not knocking their careers. We're just saying, hey, Christmas related stuff, probably not.
And every year,
probably not what you need to be into.
And every year, you have to hear that effing. I'm trying to do better. Mariah Carey song.
All I want for Christmas. Ain't it terrible? I knew exactly. Is you.
Like, oh, shove it up your oversized ass. I do not like it.
Gosh, look at her butt.
Well, you can't miss Mariah Carey's now. You can see that from Google Earth. So there's going to be the first mission to Mars, and somebody's their first transmission is going to be.
We're headed,
coming in from Mars.
Headed to Titan.
Coming in from Mars. We're picking up something. That's Mariah Carey's ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and again, it's like everybody's got a song, right? Like, I mean, it's like Bob Seger has some, Bruce Springsteen has a couple, I think. And then,
oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. I know, man. Poor the boss, man. How he still has a voice is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then like John Lennon and then like, all these, I mean, hey
man, they're all trying to get some.
I get it.
Jack.
Like, and it's like, I just can't, I think it's PTSD. I think it is. And it's like, I heard it this year because normally I'm listening to books, right? That's usually what I listen to. And then like on Fridays, maybe I'll just rock out, because I just need it. Fridays are my Van Halen days, just so you know. It's
standing on top of the world.
It's Friday Van Halen.
You're listening to Pound Cake, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding? Of course. But yeah, so anyway, so Christmas rock, I just can't do it, man.
Gone.
I just think it needs to go away.
Throw it out.
It just
go
needs
away.
to go away. Just play regular. Like, listen, I would rather do it, man. Hit me with some Sinatra, some Bing Crosby, some Burl Ives, the Snowman from Rudolph. You know,
ones I used to know.
even Elvis, right? Blue Christmas is a great song.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
And again, but he kind of came from more of a gospel-ish vibe, I think. So it's a little bit different. But again, the rest of that Christmas rock stuff, I just need to go.
Throw it out.
I just need to throw it away.
Speaking of rocking out. Oh, 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 oh.
Right before we get to football.
No, man, we got to get it.
No, super quick. This is super quick. So I'm trying to get a guy on the show, Max Miller. He has a YouTube channel, and it's called Tasting History. And what he does is he makes recipes from forever. Like, you know, this is pancakes in World War II era or whatever. And it's super interesting. The thing that caught me was he got the original recipe for school pizza.
Oh, man.
And I have it.
Oh,
I have
man.
it now. And Max and I, we're going to try to get together and have him on the show to kind of talk about.
Have pizza together?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm going to make it probably this weekend. So
That.
Yeah.
Now that is pretty cool.
he tasted it after he made it. He was like, okay, this is bringing back. He's like, I really feel like I need like a carton of chocolate milk now.
Did he cut it in the rectangle?
Of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Was it with or without the little tiny pepperonis underneath?
So he didn't.
Because sometimes you would have those and sometimes they wouldn't. You didn't know what you were going to get until you actually got
This is a
into it.
cheese. This is just the cheese.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
I think the pepperonis were always added after the fact.
So I always wondered about that.
Yeah.
I did. Because it's like the little, it was just the little, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, we always had the two. We had two larger pepperonis on each slice.
Oh,
if you
we
got
had
the,
like the,
you got the little chunky, like the little.
Yeah, I'm talking, that's what we had. We always
Yeah.
had the, I don't know what's going on.
When you went to fancy school, we just
Well,
had.
I thought it was pre-made. That was the thing because you could tell they did. Yeah, because it was like under the cheese.
Yeah.
That's why it was like a surprise. So you didn't ever know. I actually think I like just the pure cheese better.
I think I might.
Did you ever scrape the top off and roll it up like a, and then, oh yeah, man. Oh man. Takes you.
And you always had those things in your teeth afterwards, like
Oh,
all the
yeah.
herbs and stuff. Well,
Oh, man.
that's in this recipe. So before you leave, let me. I'll show it to you.
We'll have
I got it printed out,
yes,
and I can get
yes.
it to you.
The original. I like it. I
yeah,
like
so
it.
coming up, hopefully soon,
I like this dude.
conversation
I like it.
with Max Miller and his really cool YouTube channel. I'll link it for you folks listening here in the description of the video because that's what the kids say. Description or link in description. So that's what that'll be.
Holla.
So, without
Speaking of pizza,
further ado,
making the pizza.
did you eat any pizza at Columbus?
No.
Keep you warm?
No, somebody said, they're like, did you get deep dish? I was like, I thought that was Chicago, except supposedly it's not. Anyway, no, man. So we went, lots of football talk about, lots of things. 49ers officially eliminated, makes me sad.
Me too.
But yeah, went to the OHIO, not to be confused with the school up north per Woody Hayes, but went up there to watch my Vols play. First time of us being in the college football playoff, obviously expanded to 12 teams this year. It was super exciting, super awesome. Went with my buddy Jordan, had a great road trip. Got up there, had some great food. Shout out to Hudson 29 restaurant. Excellent sea bass, salmon, all of the good things. They have this really delicious chocolate sheet cake that about killed us because it was too much. It was but it was really good.
Gotta eat it, man.
But so it was delicious. So good. So had a great time. All the things good. Beautiful campus. Had great weather on Saturday. It was cold as shit. But we stayed bundled up and warm. So it was all good. Right up until the game.
Yeah. That game was close at kickoff. And that was about it.
That first play, man, it was the screenplay, basically like a run. Yeah. And Jeremiah Smith takes that ball, and it was 8 yards before anybody even sniffed him. And I looked at my buddy Jordan. Jordan played football, and I was like, we might be in trouble. He goes, if we don't steal that edge, we're going to be in big trouble. And we were.
Yeah.
colossal ass whooping. All facets of the game, O-line, D-line, better skilled position players. I mean, we put McCoy on Smith, and it didn't make a bit of difference, and he's a freshman. They completely outplayed us
and coached.
Oh yeah, Ryan, they were firing on all cylinders. They were mad. I mean, they lost to Michigan. You know, I mean, it was a beating. It proved to me we are a good team. I'm still encouraged. I mean, if you think about how much we suffered as UT fans for years.
Yeah.
I really like Heupel. I think we got to do something with our offense, though. We're missing goalish, I really believe, down there at South Florida. We got to get some more position players, wide receiver, things like that. But, you know, good team. We are a very good team.
Agreed.
You know, the key is going to be, because we're going to have a down year where maybe we're 8-4, 9-3 type of thing. We got to let that marinate and be okay with it and say, okay, we're still way better than where we were, so people need to back off.
Definitely.
But it proved to me we're not elite. Ohio State is an elite football team, my man, and if anybody was doubting that, I saw it firsthand when they play the way that they're capable of playing. I mean, they legitimately could go and win the whole thing. I mean, so throw my team out of the mix, and I still got my hat on because I love my Vols. Throw them out of the mix, just playing against us and how we were overmatched. But if they play like that, I think they can beat anybody in the playoff.
I think so too. And I mean, I picked Oregon at the beginning of the year. And again, so we're going to see the rematch there. Coming up.
Right.
And
which is going to be real.
And it's going to be in Eugene.
Yeah.
So,
no, I thought it was at the Rose Bowl.
Is it at the Rose Bowl?
I think it's at the Rose Bowl.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right.
So it's classic.
You're right.
So it's a classic
Big
old
Ten.
Pac-12.
Yeah.
Which, of course, they're not in the Pac-12. Isn't that ironic, though? Now they're both Big Ten. You know, so they're both sitting in the Rose Bowl playing each other, which traditionally back in the day, you know, it would have been a different. It'd have been a different deal. So that's
So that's going to be interesting. Is that New Year's Day?
That is actually New Year's Day. There's one game. I think Boise doesn't Boise play New Year's Eve, and
maybe
I think that's right. Maybe that's some. There's one game New Year's Eve. And then the other three are on New Year's Day.
I think you're right.
I'm gonna look that up real quick, just because I'm afraid I'm gonna be wrong about that.
I think this thing goes all the way through the 20th.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. They didn't,
because they spread it out.
Yeah, they didn't miss a beat. It's Boise and Penn State play in the Fiesta Bowl. They play New Year's Eve. And then it's Texas, Arizona, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia.
Yeah.
The Sugar Bowl, which has traditionally, that's the later game anyway, down there in New Orleans.
Watching all the teams, and I do think Ohio State had the most impressive win. But I'm telling you right now, from just a defensive line and offensive line perspective, Notre Dame looks legit.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, not legit like they're pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, like I think they could. I don't know if they will. I mean, just ask Northern Illinois.
Touchdown, Jesus. I mean, anything can still happen. I mean,
Notre Dame. I don't know how they're going to be playing from a deficit if they go down, but if they get on you early, that team is. They have athletes all over the field. Like, this is the best Notre Dame has looked to me. And again, you have to look at Notre Dame in two lenses, right? Because there's one Notre Dame where, you know, they're owned by a little peacock, and they get all the money from the peacock. The peacock says, have a feather, here's some money. And, you know, they get their own network, right? They don't play a conference schedule. And for some reason, we're just okay with that.
Right.
It's like they're not part of a conference.
Right.
And we're just okay with that.
In football. Because they are part of the ACC like everything else.
Yeah, and they play ACC teams in football, but we're staying out of the conference. Okay, whatever, right? They still think it's 1984, and we still voted on a national champion. We don't, and no one told them. But
Pretty much.
But whatever. Yeah. So, like, you know, and so they always end up putting them in the playoff, or they get, like, ranked really high, and then they get their ass spanked. I mean, you remember when they played Bama?
Oh, man.
Again, that game was disgusting.
Oh, man. That was...
But this year, to me, they look better than they have maybe in 10 or 15 years. And Brian Kelly had some good Notre Dame teams, but never...
No, it's a different physicality.
This is different. He's done a great job.
Marcus Freeman. It is a different It's a different look.
I like to see
They got a little bit of that nasty to them. Not like dirty, but like
it's a different.
They've
team.
got some more edge. But I mean, he's an intense dude, man. I'll never pull. So them and Georgia played each other. I'm like, I hate this game.
But you got to pull for Notre.
Well, I'm pulling for Notre. Oh man, no! Unless Georgia plays Satan, I am not ever. I'm just telling you right now, I am never rooting for the Georgia Bulldogs.
It was nice of the committee though,
to
put Georgia in the college football playoff when their starting quarterback got hurt. It was nice of them. Because I mean, they won their conference championship. Oh, wait a minute. And they were undefeated. Oh, no, they weren't. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
And actually, I think
it seems like this has come up before. You fucking committee. I'd love to
and
sit
you
in
want to talk
that
about
room.
something that's terrible for just to briefly interject on that. The trajectory of a school. I mean, really just put y'all going the wrong way when it should not have been that way.
Well, it's like losing a game and you don't want that game to turn into 10 games or whatever. We lost a season because of it.
Yes.
I mean,
now to be fair, I mean, y'all lost a ton of great players.
We
too.
sure did.
So, I mean, it's not that didn't happen.
And got a shit quarterback.
And then, I mean, somebody gave him some bad intel because somebody should have called Dabo and been like, hey, you just let this guy leave. And he'd have been like, hell yeah, because he's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he went over there to Oregon State where nobody plays defense and he had a good season. That does not mean he's a good quarterback. And so Norvell got some bad intel. I hope he fired whoever really
I think he did.
He did though.
He got rid of his entire staff.
I was like, I guess he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he did. He basically fired everybody.
He cleaned house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I mean, that's his. So you know what happens if they don't reboot next year? They're going to fire him.
Yes, that'll happen.
I'm a little surprised he made it. And again, I think it's the right call. And I know we weren't trying to get on Florida State, but I think not firing him was the right call. But man, I think short leash for next year. If they start out like 1-4, 1-5, he won't make it the whole season.
He'll be done.
Yeah. If they struggle early next year, he's gone. Which I think is terrible. Anyway, back to the playoff.
Right,
because obviously, I mean, the SEC just means more, though, Dave.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
That was bad. So they were chanting SEC, SEC.
Oh, they played Rocky Top too.
They did, and then this was worse. I forgot. So they played. This is so bad. The Rocky Top thing, because it was just a brief snippet, and then they did the nah, hey, goodbye.
Yeah.
They played. I don't know why this just got me. It got me and Jordan both. They played "Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh no!
And that was some cold stuff. So
That's
basically, they're like,
shit.
"Y'all are Drake," I was like, because I looked over, I said, "They're playing." Can you believe? And of course, they could only play like 5 seconds because the whole song is a cuss fest. So
yeah,
but it was they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. I was like, man. That's a trolling thing. You almost wonder how many people really got it. I was like, well, I got it because, but yeah, SEC.
I'm glad you said the SEC.
Texas looked okay.
So,
but I don't know how good.
I'm glad you said that.
I don't know how good Clemson really was though. I mean, Clemson won the ACC again.
They did.
I don't know. I don't know.
So here's what I've noticed this season in general. Not a real great year for SEC football, right?
I mean, I would. Well, so yeah, the question becomes:
Bama's losing games. You got Georgia losing games.
You had some huge transition. The other thing is, and I think this is where like you see Ohio State dominating us. Though again, like we're not a Georgia. You know what I mean? We're not.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. I mean, Georgia whooped us. You know what I'm saying? So we're not that elite level yet. I mean, could we possibly get there? Yes. But I also think you have to be happy too. It's like, hey, we won 10 games. It's not.
No, this isn't Tennessee specific.
So no, I know.
This is SEC.
No, and so the question is it, are we down or is it everybody, the playing field has leveled up more and people are beating up on each other? I don't know. And
I know the answer.
I'm not, well, I know what your opinion
I have the answer.
Because I know how much you love the SEC.
I know why it's down.
But you see what I'm saying? I mean, that is the question. And I don't, honestly, I don't have the answer to that. But Are we still right there as one of the most powerful conferences? I think no doubt, and I think that part's hard to argue. Do we have a down year? I leave it in your hands, Coach.
Let me tell you,
Coach Man.
Again, you and I've talked about like college football history because people get tunnel vision into recent history. Recent history, there is no doubt.
I know.
That is impossible to ignore. Anyone that would say otherwise is just an idiot, like somebody on that committee, because they're all idiots. So we shouldn't ever listen to them. But we tend to forget about things like the Nebraskas, the Oklahomas, the Florida States, the Miami, right? And Florida, right? I know Florida's in the SEC, but again, that group and Notre Dame, that group pretty much ran the show in college football for decades.
Right.
And then something happened in the 2000s, toward the end of the 2000s. Someone showed up in the SEC.
2006, I believe. Is either 2005 or 2006 specifically.
Somebody showed up in the SEC that made a difference. And his name was Nicholas Joseph David Saban. I don't know what his middle name is. So Nick Saban shows up, right?
Truth.
Who having a shit run and as the Dolphins head coach. Bad mistake from him, but he took LSU from shithole to a national championship. And look at the staff that he had too. Holy balls! We had Jimbo Fisher on that staff. Why can't I think of him? He eats grass. He was after Saban left. He was the head coach of LSU, and for some reason why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Les Miles.
Les Miles. For God's sakes, I couldn't think of Les Miles' name. He used to eat grass.
He probably still does.
He probably still does. That's why he looks so fresh.
Not so much.
Parasitics.
Right? Eating dirt.
So Nick Saban showed up.
He did.
And oddly enough, about 2 years later, the SEC as a whole became really dominant. Now, I know he won a national championship, I think, after year one. I think year two.
Yes, year two.
They were. So year two, year three, all of the SEC. Because of why? Because he built a powerhouse, and that's what happens, right? That's what happens. That's how this works. That's how conferences in the NFL work. And that's why the 49ers in 1994 spent a shitload of money to beat the Dallas Cowboys, because that's what happens. And that's how dynasties get created. And that's how all that happens. Saban showed up, and lo and behold, the SEC became just this powerhouse, right? And other sports.
In football.
In football. And other sports, it worked out for other sports too, right? Tennessee's men's basketball team now. I mean, are they still number one? If they're not,
we're still number one.
Here we go, right? Like, I mean,
now I would say that's more of the Rick Barnes effect, though, versus.
But I think, but
versus Saban, because if you know Rick Barnes, I mean, Texas is stupid because they should never let him go.
They are stupid.
Yes, so I think, but I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, right, over the last not quite 20 years, the elevation of the SEC. I mean, and that's advertised. I mean, there's lots of things. Mm-hmm. The forming of the SEC network. I mean, that was the original. There's a lot of that has gone in to elevate the brand.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're saying.
It is, and again, it's cause and effect. When you bring in a great coach in a conference, in a storied tradition conference, I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, when Trump, the day that Trump won the election, the economy started looking better. People are like, oh, I can invest again.
Right.
Awesome, because this dude knows, whatever. So, again, I think all that's a Saban effect. He left, and what did we immediately start to see?
Right.
I mean, you can't deny it. Like, am I saying the conference is in the shitter? Of course I'm not.
No.
And
I know you know that. And I think that's right.
Bama had
and if you
a terrible year for Bama.
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean, they got to the college football playoff because they won the SEC.
Had Bama not lost to Vandy, Bama would have been in the playoff.
They would have been.
I mean, they would have gotten in, even despite losing to us. I mean, Vandy's what killed them.
And I think they would have gotten beat because I don't think they were that good.
I agree.
I don't think Georgia's that good this year.
No. I think they're definitely down.
And I mean, and Tennessee lost what, 3 games?
Counting Ohio State, yeah.
We
were 10 and 2. 10 and 2.
Yeah,
10 and 3 on the season.
And then they bring in, so Saban leaves. You bring in Texas and Oklahoma, which for the life of me, Okay. And I mean,
That's a money thing.
Again,
It's a brand thing.
It is.
It's a brand thing.
And Oklahoma shit the bed. And Texas, I thought Texas at one point in time was really good, but after watching them, I'm like, I don't know, man. Your all's offense is a little, as the kids say, sus.
It is, and Ewers floats that ball every time he throws it. Man. It's got a little bit of float to it. And I'm like, that just...
He's Doug Flutie, Hail Mary in that thing almost every time. It's like he just doesn't have the arm strength. And that's what you do. You compensate for it by getting some elevation on it, you know?
I think that's legit.
Because, I mean, again, it's why we don't fly in straight lines.
Right.
In airplanes, we
Right.
curve.
Right.
It's the same thing, right? It's less for more, or more for less, or fuck, whatever. I don't know. I'm not an aerospace engineer.
He's not an aeronautical master.
I am not an aeronautical master, yet less you think. So I don't think it's a coincidence that I don't think the SEC is going to win a national championship this year.
I think that's a legitimate prediction.
I'd bet a lot of money on that, as a matter of fact. Because Georgia, who's in the college football playoff with their backup quarterback.
Yeah. Like I said, I think, and I know what you're. I'm gonna if
I don't know if the SEC gets out of the next round.
I think that's a legitimate.
I think Notre Dame could and will beat Georgia. Texas plays who?
Arizona State. I actually was going to say. I actually think.
I take that back.
I think Texas. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Arizona State.
Arizona State can score.
We will see what Arizona State really is. Particularly here at the end of the year. I mean, very hot team. That may just be somebody you don't want to go up against. I think Texas will win if Notre Dame doesn't shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame beats Georgia. Who beats Notre Dame will be Notre Dame. If they don't beat themselves, they will win. And then you've got Texas, and Texas is not getting past Oregon or Ohio State. That's I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and say that right now. So that's not happening. It kind of sucks a little bit for Oregon. Oregon got a harder road than, like, say, for example, Penn State.
They're number one in the country, and they got the hardest damn road.
They got, and again, I know they didn't know where to seed, like Ohio State, of course, and the Michigan thing just sunk their battleship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, talk about that. And that was one of the first things people commented on. They said, my gosh, Oregon got like the hardest road no matter who they play to try to get to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or to the final, because even after that,
it's tough.
That's going to be
road.
interesting. Now, I will say this: if you look at national titles historically in football, Big Ten, they have 31. I looked this up real quick.
Yeah,
number 2 is SEC at 27. Now,
as a conference,
I'm talking about conference. The next closest, though, of course, it's defunct now. Pac-12, 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it is Big Ten, SEC.
Yeah.
And I think that's what pisses the Big Ten off is, now I didn't pull this. It would be interesting to know, like, over the last 2 decades, how many championships have we pulled off? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So for example, if I go back here, let's do it this way. Let's say 2006. Okay. Let's just say 2006.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the 27, if I looked at that right, all came
sounds right.
since 2006.
Yeah.
So which ties in with what you're saying. So you're basically looking at 17 years and 12 times SEC's won it. We do have 27 champions, where if you look at the Big Ten, for example, of course, Michigan just got one, right?
Yeah.
And they have the most. But then before that, if you went from 2006 on, the only one is Ohio State in 2014. All of those are like way predated. Does that make sense? So
Florida State had one in there.
No. I'm not doing ACC. I'm getting ACC actually only has 8. And of that, you have Florida State in 2013. Of course, Clemson got 2.
And again, we were gifted that national championship because we don't play anybody.
What?
No, that's what. Oh yeah, I've heard this, that we were gifted that national championship because we don't play anybody.
Didn't y'all beat Newton?
We beat Auburn, but it wasn't Cam Newton.
Who was the quarterback?
I forget who it was, but that was Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
That was the kick six year.
Yeah. It was Gus. Not Newton. Sorry, they won with Newton.
They won. They beat Oregon with Newton.
Yes. Which was not anyway. Yeah. What?
Yeah. No. I've heard all of it.
That's stupid. That's stupid. Whatever.
So again, the last thing I'll say about this, and then we can go to the thing that we really want to talk about because I'm excited to talk about.
Which kind of ties in with the Ohio State game.
If you
Tennessee,
for you folks listening, I'm not talking about you, but just you folks listening, they're like thinking, Dave, you're kind of off your rocker with this. What Saban did to the SEC and whatever. Coach K at Duke.
Yeah. And I'm not disagreeing with you because, like I said, you can see the proof is 12 titles in 7, which, shows you the dominance recently.
You had, at one time you had Coach K and you had Dean Smith, one of the two greatest coaches of all time.
And then Roy Williams to even follow,
Roy Williams.
which was
three of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
Now look at the ACC and college basketball, and they used to dominate college basketball. That's completely shifted.
And now it's the SEC.
Now it's completely shifted.
Agree.
And you know why?
Because
Coach K leaves.
Agree. And Roy Williams left.
And Roy Williams,
like a season before, whatever. Yes.
Yeah. Roy Williams leaves.
Agree.
Saban's still in the SEC, and you just start seeing that effect. Because I think it's and again, I'm talking about competent, real coaches here, and the proof's in the pudding because you look out at Colorado, and they're just shit. Who cares? They're barely winning games because he's not a real coach. I'm talking about real.
I knew that was
coaches.
coming.
I'm talking about real coaches.
No, I understand what you're saying. Right. But again, that's brand. That's prime. That's prime
100%,
brand.
100%. Yeah.
But no, Saban not only had brand, but he. It's hard pressed to tell me not. I'd give him GOAT status. I know that's hard for you. I know
it's not.
That's a big conversation. That's a big debate.
There's a lot of history to talk about.
That's a lot to talk about.
But the thing that I want to talk about is a little controversy at my favorite network. This happened. This started at the game that you were at. Actually, it started that morning.
It did.
With a little show called First Take, which I'm going to be super honest, folks. I don't know how that shit's still on the air. That is just the worst damn broadcast. It's just terrible.
People love it though, man.
It is. It's three people screaming at each other their opinions.
Eat it up, man.
And
they love it. They absolutely love it.
And I know Stephen A. Smith is he comes with a lot of credentials, right? He was a head coach in the. Oh wait, no, he coached in the. No wait, hang on.
He played in the. No,
but he was an assistant general manager. No, he's a fucking journalist. Okay, that's all he is. He's full of opinions and full of other things, up to his eyeballs, and. Here is a show, and again, let me do this, okay? You'll see this video. You folks won't see this video at home because if I play it, I don't know, they'll roofie me at ESPN or whatever, which I really don't give a shit. But you will see this, Doc, but folks won't see it. So I want everybody to listen to what Fowler and Herbstreit said, and then I want to play a little bit of what Stephen A. said, and then really go to Shannon Sharp and what he said. After all this.
Yes, so I'm with you. I got you.
This is Friday night at the end of the game. Ohio State's finally punting the ball, which was
Saturday. It was on Saturday.
It was Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So this is Saturday night at the very end of the game. So you folks listen.
On the hot seat, take a listen.
When you hear pundits on this network and other places talk about that with certainty, it's nonsense, frankly. The public doesn't pull the trigger and get rid of the coach.
No.
The administrators do, and they're behind them.
Yeah. First Take tried to fire him. They thought he was done. So I'll be excited to see what they talk about on Monday after this performance. They had him out. They're trying to find replacements. But here he is. He's still got his hat on. He's still coaching.
Yes, he is still coaching, and yes, Ohio State looked fantastic.
Shannon, step aside, Shannon.
Against Tennessee.
Step aside,
I'll
Shannon.
let you respond.
Step aside, Shannon and Dio. Let me get. I need an ISO shot.
Oh my goodness.
Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit, outstanding, dynamic duo. it's an honor and a privilege to call them my colleagues, that we work here at the same network, all right? And I say this in fun to both of them. Stop. Stop it. Chris Fowler, it's ridiculous. No, it's not. Herbstreit, First Take, got to get him fired. That is not true. I did. Not First Take. That was me. Stephen A. I'm going to own that. And what did I say?
Were you working at Duncan before this?
Quote me accurately, my brother. I watch you on College Football Game Day. I don't misquote you. Don't misquote me. What I said was, this man, Ryan Day, if he doesn't get a national championship, he should go. Even with a 66-10 record, I didn't stutter one bit. I ain't stuttering now. You get the job at The Ohio State, which you know, Kirk Herbstreit. You got to beat Michigan. This man has lost 4 years in a row. 3 straight to Jim Harbaugh, and then to Sharon Moore. Okay? And then not only do you lose 4 straight to Michigan,
now he's insulting their current coach.
And you get bounced out by Tennessee. That's what I was saying. You can't lose Tennessee now. You got to go handle your business. To their credit, they blew them out. They beat Tennessee like they stole something, okay? Major props to you.
What?
But in the end, what it comes down to is this. You're Ryan Day. The job is twofold, Shannon. D.O., correct me if I'm wrong. Beat Michigan and make sure you're the national championship picture. You got $20 million payroll with NIL. You had 11 dudes that were NIL.
All right. Okay. So to paraphrase what he is saying, it's you get a good a roster that's
I mean, they do.
Money.
Money bought your roster. No, you have the most expensive team.
Yes, you have
it's
the
just
most
like the
expensive.
Yankees or the Dodgers or the I don't know in the NBA because I don't I don't know who has the highest payroll. Anyway,
Yankees probably.
For baseball.
Sorry,
but no, if you go to NBA,
the NBA.
I don't know if it's the Knicks.
When you say NBA, my mind just stops working.
So I don't. Right. So I don't. So I don't know. I don't know who has, but same sort of thing. You're paying big luxury tax. You're doing all things big market. Same sort of thing. So you're storied program and you've got the highest payroll. Yeah. You got to win.
So here's what Shannon Sharp had to say, which is more along the lines of what I would like to converse with everybody about today. So let me get here.
I will tell you.
Take it over.
All right, go ahead, Shannon.
Even I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to let it slide. Everybody's at ESPN because had you not taken the route you taken, I would have lit their ass up. But I'm going to let it slide. You know what, guys? Congratulations, Ohio State. You won the game. But, hey, if we're going to be on the same team, if we're going to work for the same network, don't do that. Kurt, Chris Fowler, I promise you, if you ever mention anything, any platform that I'm on again and talking about, I wonder what they're going to say in negativity, I promise you, ESPN ain't got enough bosses to keep me off y'all for what I'm going to say. So I'm going to let y'all slide today. I'm going to turn it over to D.O. before I get myself in trouble. But don't play with me. Go ahead, D.O.
Damn. I got to
All right. I don't care what Orlowski has to say.
Right.
I don't know, dude. He backed his way into that.
I was like, he's a master. He has parlayed himself into a fixture of which may show you how stupid it is. He ran out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah. He's famous for that.
I mean, what?
But
anyway.
Anyway.
So Shannon Sharp, Super Bowl Hall of Fame, you got some cred.
Yeah.
You're also still pretty fit, Anyway. So basically he just threatened him.
Here's what I don't understand.
He just threatened him.
And let me, Doc, in front of you and our 55,000 subscribers.
Just remember your mother's listening.
Yes. Let me apologize also to First Take. I want to formally apologize to Dan Orlowski, Stephen A. Smith, and Shannon Sharp because I
just
too
saw a pig fly over the house.
Because I too, Dave Mann, from Parts Unknown, Dave Mann, have at times, not always, at times, also disagreed with you guys. And apparently, you can't do that.
No.
On an opinion-based show where you spout off stuff all the time. This is the same guy, by the way, in Stephen Asshole Smith, that's what the A stands for, who used to call Jimmy Garoppolo porn star Jimmy.
He did. Yes.
One of those guys,
Stephen
A. Smith and Jimmy Garoppolo, one of those guys went to a Super Bowl. as a starting quarterback for one of the most storied franchises in the NFL.
And should have won.
And should have won. But one of those guys went to a Super Bowl. One of those guys have played.
And one first down away from winning.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And one of those guys
that hurts me.
Was
really
even in an MVP race that year, right? Like he had a good year. One of those guys was dating a porn star because he's a good-looking dude, and everybody wanted to date him.
I don't know that he was really dating.
Oh, well, I mean, I use the word date.
Understand loosely. I understand. Yes, I mean, I think it was just
speaking of loosely. No. Sorry. What happened?
They just went for a deep tissue massage.
They did, and it was happy. So again, this is the same guy who said that. Same guy.
That's true.
I don't know. Words almost escape me on how this show, which is nothing but a bunch of opinions that don't mean jack about anything. No general managers are calling up Stephen A. Smith or Shannon Sharp and saying, "What do you think I should do about this quarterback?" Nobody's asking them.
That's true.
And again,
that's true.
And I don't. It blows me away that, first of all, Shannon Sharp it's like he threatened physical violence. I mean, you could easily take it that way. And the fact that ESPN went the other way with this to like say, well, no, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Let me tell you something about ESPN. I talked about the Saban effect.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. If Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler said, okay, and went to Mickey Mouse's house, because I mean, that's who owns them now. Right.
I know. So if he went I'm with you. I knew where you were going.
So if they went to Mickey and Minnie's little ranch that they've got out there in South Florida, and knock on the door, Mickey goes, "Who's there?" And it's Kirk and Chris Fowler. Mickey goes, "Oh yeah, come on in." And so they have a little meeting there, and those two say, "You can take this job and shove it right up your ass." And let me tell you something. And they could go to Fox. They could go to ABC. They put Chris Fowler on and probably get rid of Al Michaels on
Prime.
And again,
or anything.
And again,
which I hate Chris Fowler.
If they went to Fox or CBS, right, they could still do college football. They'd be locked into a conference.
Correct.
But they would also get at least one playoff game or maybe two now in the new system because they spread that out too with TBS and True TV.
That was odd. Yeah, that was odd. But I mean, it's just like NCAA tournament.
It is. It's all over the place.
Basketball. Same. That's
all over. Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
And it's just they spread the revenue out and get everybody involved so they can get more of the ad shares and all that stuff.
Correct.
That's the business behind the scenes. Those guys could do that and go anywhere they wanted to.
True.
Stephen A. Smith could. He's in a contract negotiation now. He could also tell ESPN to go shove it up their ass. Who's going to hire him? I mean, if you're not on ESPN for college football, for him, if you're not on ESPN, where would he go?
Right. With
Fox NFL Sunday's not going to hire him.
No.
And they're just not. I mean, CBS isn't going to hire him. The NFL Network's not going to hire him.
FS1.
Maybe, which would be weird after Skip Bayless left there. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But I mean, right, there's really not.
I don't know that he on his own could go do this somewhere because he's been able to attract people and get them there. And he took advantage of the fact that, that Shannon and Skip Bayless had a falling out. He took advantage of that, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And then, Michael Irvin gets into some, hangs out with strippers, so he's not on there anymore.
Cocaine.
But again, he hires really, in my personal opinion, loudmouth people.
Right.
And then when he makes a statement and then tries to separate himself from First Take, I don't understand. He is First Take. That show only exists right now because of him. And I don't know what the ratings are. Apparently they're good because, it's on 5 days a week. And then
they're killing it. No, they really are.
It gets rerun 1,000 times, which still blows me away. But when you start talking about Herbstreit loves college football. Yes. I don't think he's fake. Now, do I think he
had a legit career in college football. Not so much pro, but that's why he's in college football.
Yeah, won a Rose Bowl.
Right,
And,
again, he has some credentials with him.
And you can, and listen, I don't like some of the things he said about Florida State over the years and stuff. But again, they're opinions, but he's really good at his job.
Yes,
I
agree.
don't think Stephen A. Smith's good at his job.
I've always liked Herbie. Now, everybody told me it was painful to watch Fowler and Herbie watching my Vols get dismantled. I mean, obviously. But and part of that is, Fowler just doesn't like us. I mean,
no.
And I don't like him. I mean, ever since he made an unnecessary comment years ago about Tennessee being in the trailer parks.
Yeah,
and that was just crap. And
it was
unnecessary because all that was going on was people were sitting there saying, Peyton Manning should have won the Heisman, and that was his retort back to it, just to be a dick, because that's what he is.
Yeah.
But
he's also a different person now than he was. I met him years and years ago.
Yeah.
On the sideline of a Virginia Tech game. We were talking about before the show. And he was a different guy. He was a little uppity and whatever. I think he's a little different now than he was even 5 or 6 years ago. And he also used to host that show, College Game Day.
He did.
And I think that, so.
But he moved to the booth to be his own whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So but again, when you think about college football, and one day, folks, Kirk Herbstreit's going to be gone. Right? He's going to retire.
Everybody is.
And we're not going to have him anymore. We're not going to have Saban. Pat McAfee's going to go. That show is going to look extremely different at some point. And I don't know that it'll ever be as successful as it is right now. But if you tell me, Dave, you got to choose, First Take leaves the air or College Game Day leaves the air.
Oh, man, absolutely.
And College Game Day is only a season a year.
But you know what's sad?
What's that?
I think there's a significant portion of people now that would say, oh, you've got to keep First Take, which is insane.
Which, again, wouldn't make a difference until you get to late August, right?
I understand. I get it.
So,
right.
and again, I
get what you're saying.
So the fact that Shannon Sharp, first of all, he's so sensitive now. This is an NFL, Hall of Fame NFL tight end, Super Bowl champion. Still, like you said,
he's fit,
super fit, was a great player, great heart. And I've always liked Shannon Sharp, and it really shocked me that he took that tact. Because, I mean...
That's all. But see, I think it's ratings. I really do.
Maybe
and there was an article about that. I forget where, but a guy wrote about that, and that's what he said. He said, this is to, retort back to...
I saw that too, but then I saw Herbie's response. And he was on the McAfee show. I don't know if you saw that. But he was in tears. He was actually crying on camera because he said, listen, he said, maybe I shouldn't have said it. But when people criticize Ryan Day, he said, I take it a little personally. He said, because what you guys see is his media interviews and him on the sidelines, and he doesn't look like a friendly dude. And, he looks like he's upset all the time, and he got into, a shouting match with Jim Harbaugh one year and all this stuff, during the Michigan-Ohio State game. He said, I know him personally and we talk regularly. And he said, for the stuff that he goes through from just being a coach at that high profile, high profile school in the media spotlight, he said, I take it personal because I know what people say to him.
Sure.
And he said, and here's a guy, it's one of the most successful coaches in college football history for the time that he's been a head coach. And he said, and you've got a show saying, well, he should be out of there if he doesn't win this game. It's like, well, most people aren't held to that standard. I mean, Saban didn't have to win a national championship every year. He was there for as long as he wanted to be there.
Right.
And, and Bobby Bowden was there as long as he wanted to be there. And some of those coaches are just there as long as they want to be there because of what they do for the university. And
I think, though, too, to take a little bit of the other side, I mean, but look at all the, I mean, and I know Bobby he didn't have as many national titles, obviously, as Saban, but
right.
Look at, and of course the landscape a little bit different, but a lot of big wins, but also a lot of big losses, wide right. I mean, lots of tough with Miami and things like that. I think people get after Ryan Day because I think there's still a little bit of that Urban effect. Even though I hate Urban Meyer, I feel like he's still kind of caught in that shadow. Even though I don't know that they're doing any better with Urban still as their coach. You see what I'm saying? But I feel either. I feel like because he got the title in 2014 or whatever, I think people are still holding on to that, and
they could be.
And I don't think that's right. And now look at John Cooper, legendary coach for Ohio State. Who could he never beat? Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, had a great career, and they fired him because he couldn't beat Michigan, brought Tressel in for all the other things, and Tressel's beat Michigan.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, he's better. It's like, well, actually, John Cooper probably had a better career overall.
Yeah.
But couldn't. So I think some of this is.
It is.
And yeah, I mean, he is. I mean, well, he proved he's an excellent coach because he whooped our butt.
Listen, I mean, he's not going to get hired at that level at a school that size if he's a scrub coach. I mean, let's just be honest.
I agree. I
mean, the worst coach in the NFL is still a hell of a coach. Could probably go to another program.
Sure.
Like a college program or a high school, like a large high school program, and maybe win 8 national or state championships or whatever in a row.
Right.
I don't think you get hired at that level. I think coaches can have bad seasons. I think coaches cannot mix well with the players. They can lose the locker room. There's all kinds of things that can happen. But in general, if you're at that level,
you're doing something right.
Something's gone right. And again, there's different levels to great coach to,
Right.
I don't put, any of the interim coaches that the Raiders get all the time
I
up
get
there with Bill Walsh.
No, I get what
or Bill Belichick or whatever.
Right.
Right.
I think,
and again, so it floors me that a program like that, right? This is like what, to me, First Take is the View of ESPN.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the show The View, what a shithole. Oh, my God. That is the most woke bunch of bullshit. Folks, if you ever just want to watch and think, here are 5 or 6 people that have lost their damn mind on national television, there you go. I've never seen anything like it, because if you show up there and you agree that every Republican should go straight to hell and you hate them, then you're in good shape. But if you show up there and have any differentiating...
a different view.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They just get and they talk about, we get fact checked all the time. You get fact checked by ABC News. Come on. That's like me starting a news station. Come on. It's all going to be tongue in cheek. Breaking news.
It's like, not so much.
Yeah. So again, this has all happened. Mickey's sitting at the board table here going, well, I mean, just go ahead and say it. So The View is The View. But again, First Take, that's what they've become. It's just a bunch of people that yell at each other, their opinions.
The sad thing is a significant amount of the American people really like that.
And if you ever want to know what's wrong with America, folks,
hey, man,
there's a microcosm.
Speak it. I mean, seriously,
wrong.
No, it's crazy that conflict and that all that bull crap. That's what people want.
Yeah,
that's what people want.
And I can't. There was a period of time in my life that I refused to watch ESPN outside of College Game Day, and I'm real close to that again. Because I just can't do it.
See, anymore. I don't even. I like watching College Game Day. I like watching and in basketball, in like ramped up basketball season. I do enjoy watching the game day for basketball. Too.
Yeah, Reese and
because I really like Reese Davis. I really do. I
think he's good for the sport.
I think he does a great job football and basketball, even though he's an Alabama guy. I'm just I think they do a good job, and so I do enjoy that. But yeah, of course, everybody's so busy, but I don't watch First Take. I'll watch a snippet, if there's, and of course, if we're going to talk about something,
yeah,
in its inception, I used to watch it pretty regularly when I'd have time because it was on 1,200 times a day.
I watched it when Skip Bayless was there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was like, and it's the landscape's just changed so much.
Yeah.
I just don't. But I agree. It's like game day, College Game Day, and then the actual sports program, like the actual games, and maybe that's it.
I think that
it's crazy. Which is
I think what
crazy.
First Take needs to understand, again, nobody's calling them and asking for their opinions to make decisions. Ohio State is not going to call them and say, hey, what do you think? Well, we're going to fire Ryan Day. I mean,
that's just trying to stir up some bull crap. And it's
again, it's like you said it and own it.
And if you watched again, and it hurt me, man. I mean, it was so cold, but I had the heated vest, the hand, we were good, but I mean, they whooped our butt.
They did.
And kudos to them. And I mean, and I know we joke, Ryan Day just for men, and I mean, because it's a little too dark. I mean, it's like, dog, that's not natural on your beard.
I think he's
your
drinking
hair.
the just for men.
I mean, it's like
coming out of his pores.
It's like a daily treatment. Yeah, it's like, come on, man, let a little bit get in there because it's okay. It's a little too much, but. I mean, come on, man. Team. I mean, they won 11 games again, and they've been to the playoff. He's like 4 out of 5 seasons that he's been there, or whatever it is. I'm like, and that was when it was 4 teams. I'm like, they're always in it.
And again, they play Penn State, they play Michigan, and Indiana, and let's say they won all those games, right? Because people could say, well, you didn't really play anybody. All right, football fans, Tennessee came to town. Tennessee offensively has looked really good this year. And they kicked the shit out of Tennessee. So it's like, I mean,
we were down though. I mean, receiving wise, we had an excellent, obviously Dylan Sampson,
sure,
and our O line receivers not too fancy. I mean, Dante Thor, they kind of underperform, but
point being,
but still, really good. But I mean, they also Ohio State had the number 1 scoring defense, 10 points a game, and they showed why.
Yeah,
again, great game plan. They were fired up. They had that look. He did a great job coaching. And they made the adjustments at halftime because we shut them out in the second quarter.
Yeah,
it was 10-0, and it was 21-10. I was like, we got them right where we want them.
I mean, but let's say that Tennessee had beat them, right? Let's say Tennessee beat them regardless of the score.
Right.
You still have to look at them as a whole this season. The number 1 team in the country barely beat them. And you got them ranked number 1.
On the road, 1 point.
On the road. So
Michigan's the game. Michigan is the game that undid it. If they don't lose to Michigan, none of this conversation's even happening. Which again is bullcrap.
Again, if you want to have so if First Take wants to say, what do you think happens if Ryan Day doesn't win a national championship this year? And they're like, well, I don't know. Ohio State might start looking elsewhere. I don't know. But that's not really what they said. They said he's got to, or he's got to get out of there.
Gone.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get offended when someone disagrees with them. It blew me away, and it just shows me again that show is a flaming, smoldering, putrid pile of horse shit. That is all that show is. That's all it is. And if you watch it, folks, you need to check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself. Something might be wrong with your brain.
You did not.
I did.
Oh, Dave, my gosh.
Better chickadee check yourself.
Because first takes like that are bad for your health.
I don't know. I can't believe, and again, I'm going to pick sides here, and I'm picking Herbstreit and Fowler.
Everybody, but that's the thing. Anybody that loves college football, you're going with Herbie, and even though I hate Fowler, I mean, everybody. That's what's so silly. It's like, y'all shut up, because they're not. I mean, if you're a college football fan, you are not siding with Stephen A. Smith.
Do you think
you're just not going to do it?
Do you think maybe Stephen A. and Dan Orlowski and Shannon, they all need to take a vacation? They seem like they're a little oversensitive. Maybe they're just stressed.
I don't even know how Orlovsky's there. I'm so sorry. Hey, good for him. Good for him. But I mean, what? What a
gig. You have people doing all the research for you. You just have to show up on a set with some makeup and scream for an hour. Because you can't just say, I'm not sure I agree with you on that, and here's why. You have to scream it, right? What a gig. Whereas Herbie and Fowler have to do a week's worth of stuff. And Herbie is doing NFL football too, right? His last Thursday night game was last night. And yeah, I mean, what? ESPN, you continue to lower the standards of broadcasting. Good job.
Protect Herbstreit. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Have some sense.
Oh, Lord, there's so much else to talk about, but we got to go.
I know.
This is ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. We could have had it's like a mini series.
This could have been like a 3-hour show, but
hey, it's good to be back though.
It is really good to be back on episode 83.
Go Vols. Still go Vols. All day, every day. We got whooped on the basketball.
Yeah. Basketball season, folks.
Come on, man. Get to the Final Four.
Next week.
We can do another show. Come on, Mighty Balls.
Next show, we'll talk more about playoffs. And see where we go. Enjoy college football, folks, coming up over the next 10 days or so.
That's right. Lots of good stuff.
Episode 83 of the Dave and Doc Podcast. All things Dave and Doc on our website at daveanddoc.com. That's Dave, A-N-D, Doc, D-O-C.com.
Sign up. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Canada. Thank you across the United States. OHIO, if you're listening, appreciate you all, too. We had a good time.
There you go. Yeah.
Go Vols.
It's all right. That's what we take antidepressants for is football season.
Helps us make it through.
All right, folks.
Bye.
See ya.